The next subject is the tongue. The tongue, together with associated muscle, forms the floor of the oral cavity. So the tongue is actually connected to the lower jaw, the mandible, and it's composed of the skeletal muscle covered with mucous membrane. So everything in our mouth and nose and throat is covered by mucous membrane. So it's that pinkish, the shiny stuff. If you look inside of the mouth, that's all mucous membranes. They're actually susceptible to infection like viruses. The tongue participates in chewing, swallowing, and speech. The upper and lateral, so the top and the sides of the tongue, the surfaces of the tongue are covered with papilla. So if you look at the tongue, you're going to notice that it's not smooth. It's got like little bumps. Those are called papilla. And some of these bumps contain taste buds. So the bumps you see in the tongue, they're not the taste buds, but some of those bumps, the papilla, they contain the taste buds. Some more things to say about the tongue, and I'm just gonna pull up the picture of the tongue right here. Is that the tongue also contains the lingual glands. These glands secrete both mucus and a watery serous fluid that contains the enzyme called lingual lipase. This enzyme can digest about 30% of dietary triglycerides. So the fats and oils that we put in our mouth, 30% of them are digested by this enzyme called lingual lipase. They are converted into simpler fatty acids and diglycerides. And of course, this digestion continues in our stomach as the lingual lipase is swallowed into the stomach. So to summarize, the digestive juices that are produced in our mouth are going to be saliva containing digestive amylase that digests starches into smaller, simpler sugars, and the enzyme called lingual lipase that digests triglycerides, which is fats and oils, into smaller fatty acids. The next subject is teeth. And the teeth are really hard structures. They project into the mouth and are adapted for mechanical digestion. You probably remember studying the structures of teeth from the skeletal system. This is a picture of a tooth. This is a large tooth. It's a mandibular, that means lower. It's a molar tooth. So molar teeth are very large. They have these flat, jagged surfaces and deep, large roots. Approximately 2, could be more, per tooth. The surface of the tooth is covered by white, shiny stuff. It's very hard. It's called enamel. It's made out of calcium salts, and it protects the tooth from wear and tear, of course. Under the enamel, there's going to be the tooth material in beige color right here. It forms the shape of the tooth. This material is called dentin. Dentin is calcified connective tissue that makes up the majority of the tooth. Dentin is where the word dental and dentist come from, because they work on teeth, which is dentin. The part of the tooth that is visible on the outside, so mostly the enamel part, of course, is visible on the outside, but there's some dentin under the enamel. This is called the crown of the tooth. Okay. The tooth also gets a little bit more narrow, kind of like a little bit this part right here is called the neck. The neck is covered by the pink tissue called the gingiva or gum, and the part of the tooth that is anchored deep into the mandible or maxilla, the lower jaw or the lower jaw. This is the bone of the lower jaw, and the part of the tooth that is anchored to that bone is called the root of the tooth. So it's got 2 roots right here that are connected to the jaw by the ligaments. These ligaments are called periodontal ligaments that help anchor the tooth to the underlying bone. And the space in the bone that the tooth is sitting inside is called the tooth socket or alveolus. Okay, so back to the enamel. So enamel is the white shiny tissue. Under the enamel there's dentin. Dentin is yellowish in color, so if the enamel is wear out, the teeth could appear kind of yellow in color too. The dentin, under the dentin, there is pink tissue containing lots of nerves and the blood vessels. This is called the pulp. And the pulp is the connective tissue containing nerves and blood vessels. The yellow is nerves, the blood vessels are in red and blue, and the blood vessels stem from the main artery and main vein that runs underneath the roots along the jaw, under the teeth, upper teeth and lower teeth. These are called dental artery and dental vein, and also a nerve called dental nerve that penetrate the roots of the teeth through a hole at the bottom of the roots of the teeth called apical foramen. So it's an opening at the base of a root canal through which blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, and nerves enter a tooth. The root canal is an extension of the pulp cavity that contains nerves and a blood vessel. So the pulp is located in the pulp cavity and also in the root canals. So if a person is getting a root canal procedure, that means they're getting an infection cleared out from this root canal. The cementum is a bone-like substance that attaches the root to the periodontal ligaments. So the crown is covered by enamel, but the roots of the tooth are covered by cementum, and this cementum connects the roots to the bone via the ligaments. Humans get 2 sets of teeth throughout their life. The babies get smaller, less teeth called milk teeth or deciduous primary teeth. They are given letters instead of numbers to avoid the confusion between the adult teeth. The adult teeth are larger in size and more numerous. They're given numbers. There's 32 adult teeth, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4, 20 deciduous primary teeth. The permanent teeth are called permanent secondary teeth. The teeth appear anywhere from birth, 6 months, to 2 years. The children's teeth or milk teeth, the deciduous teeth, are given letters from A to T, starting at the top right. We're going to have A, B, C, D, E, 5 teeth. Then F, G, H, I, J, 5 teeth. Then we're going to travel down to the lower jaw from left to right. Now K, L, M, N, O, midline, P, Q, R, S, T. So the children's teeth have 4 incisors in the front, just like the adult teeth. They also have 4 canines total in the mouth. So there's 8 incisors, 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4 at the bottom. 4 canines, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. And then there's only 2 molars on each of the quadrants. There's no premolars. Okay, there's first molar and a second molar. In adult teeth, there's 2 canines, 2 incisors, 1 canine, 2 premolars, and 1, 2, 3 molars on each of the quadrants. When the milk teeth are lost, they're replaced by the permanent secondary teeth that have larger roots, and that's the last set of teeth we get. The teeth are used for mechanical digestion. Mechanical digestion is chewing, mixes food with saliva. It's the chewing of food that mixes food with saliva and forms a bolus, which can be easily swallowed. So chewed up food that we swallowed is called a bolus, kind of like a bowl. Okay, that bolus will travel through the esophagus into the stomach. The chemical digestion involves the salivary amylase that converts polysaccharides to disaccharides. That means complex carbohydrates to simple sugars. There's also the lingual lipase that converts the oils and fats, the triglycerides, into fatty acids. And that's what happens in the mouth. The chewing of the food is called mastication. That means chewing of the food. Summary. Okay, the next topic will be pharynx in a separate video another day.